Staying up to date and having the knowledge of what's happening in the industry is very important for a mobile developer. In this video, I will go through various ways that can help you to stay up to date. Let's get started. In my opinion, checking the official websites of the frameworks I use is one of the best ways of ensuring that I know what can be done in the framework I use. By the official documentation, I mean websites like developer.android.com for Android, developer.apple.com for iOS, flutter.dev for Flutter, and so on. By checking those websites, you can go through the changelogs and act if needed. For example, there may be some new upcoming policy changes, or let's say you are working on a project that's very dependent on some kind of permission that users have to grant, but in the next version of the operating system that won't be available anymore. So that's why I will suggest you to go through the official documentation and make sure that you have latest knowledge of policy changes or new permission requirements or new features that can allow you to build better apps. When you go through the official documentation, you don't need to learn everything there, but you can just check and have basic knowledge and act if needed in future. So make sure that you check the official documentations every 3 months or so. Reading articles is another best way of learning new concepts. However, as a developer, you may not always have time to look for new articles on websites like Medium or try to find new content creators. Therefore, I find subscribing to newsletters really useful because they filter out and handpick useful articles, podcasts, libraries, information about upcoming events, and so on. Another benefit of newsletters is that they are usually sent once a week, which is really good because you can find the time to read those articles. One of my favorite newsletters is called Mobile Developers Cafe, which collects articles about native Android and iOS development or cross-platform development, and also it contains some information about upcoming events, books, and podcasts. In addition, I also follow Android Weekly and Kotlin Weekly to learn more about happenings in Android world and also related to Kotlin programming language. If you like daily newsletters, I could definitely suggest TLDR, which also has some programming related content in it. So try to find newsletters in your niche and follow them, because believe me, it will save tons of time at the end for you. Following and going to conferences is another best way of networking and learning new concepts. In this video, I will not particularly talk about any specific conferences, but in my opinion, Google I/O and WWDC is a must. Also, if you cannot attend in conferences in person, you can often find the recordings of past talks in either official website of the conference or in YouTube. Apart from 3 ways that I mentioned previously, you can also try to stay up to date using platforms like Twitter, GitHub, and Reddit. So on Twitter, you can start with following the official user of the framework that you are using. And then probably by the time you will find more people who contributes more content and who shares more often updates about the specific framework of your choice. Moreover, utilizing GitHub trending will help you to know what's the hot topic or what are the hot frameworks in the programming language that you use. Alright, that's all I have to say in this video. Always remember that technology world is changing so fast. That's why you shouldn't try to memorize everything by heart, because if you're not using the knowledge you gained today, probably it will be obsolete when you start using them. Instead, what you should do is focusing on what really matters in the type of job that you are currently working on, and having the knowledge of what can be done in the framework of your choice will always help you to be up to date and use the existing knowledge at work. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.